Okay, good evening and welcome to the Planning Advisory Board meeting, thank you, of June 13th, 2024. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by member Tony DiLeonardo.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Secretary Byrne, please call the roll.
Certainly. Chairman Stanko.
Here?
Member DiLeonardo.
Yeah.
Member Chabina.
Here.
Member Warner.
Here.
Member Castellane.
Here.
Member Byrne is present. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. We have the format for the meeting this evening includes presentation from the applicant, any questions or comments that the board may have, and then any interested parties may address the board regarding the application. And we ask that anyone who wishes to speak to please state your name and address for the record and speak from the podium. We have one agenda item this evening. Site plan approval for 82 North Broadway, Hicksville, New York, 11801. The applicant is seeking a site plan approval from the Planning Advisory Board in accordance with the town site design standards. The site plan application proposes the redevelopment of the site to accommodate a 4-story mixed-use building containing 104 residential units and 3,944 square feet of retail space with at-grade and below-grade parking and associated site improvements. The proposed use for the subject property is a permitted use pursuant to Chapter 246, Table 5.9.5.1 of the Code of the Town of Oyster Bay. Secretary Byrne, is any correspondence with this application?
Yes, Chairman. We have a memo from the Zoning Division dated August 3rd, 2021, stating that the subject property located at 82 North Broadway, Hicksville, New York, 11801, has a Nassau County Land and Tax Map designation of Section 11, Block 268, Lots 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 109, 312, and 317, as well as Section 11, Block 271, Lot 71, and is located within the HD1 Hicksville Downtown Zoning District on the town zoning maps. We have a memo from the Department of Environmental Resources dated August 25th, 2023, recommending the adoption of a negative declaration for the purposes of seeker. We have a memo from the Code Enforcement Bureau dated August 6, 2021, stating that there are open code cases for non-maintenance and litter and debris. Chairman, since this memo is dated, the Planning Division contacted the Code Enforcement Bureau this week, and there are currently no open code violations. We have memos from the Town Department of Public Works Highway Division dated June 7, 2024, and Engineering Division dated July 1, 2021, stating they have reviewed the site plans and have no objections. We have an email from the New York State Department of Transportation dated August 25th, 2022, stating that the subject submitted plans are approved for the site. We have resolution number 10,575-24 adopted on May 30th, 2024 from the Nassau County Planning Commission recommending local determination for this project. We have a letter from Martin Katz from the Nassau County Department of Public Works dated May 31st, 2024, stating that the Nassau County Planning Commission strongly encourages an affordable housing set-aside at least 10% for multifamily projects. We have a memo from the Planning Division dated May 13th, 2024, stating the required parking for the subject property is 154 parking spaces and 155 have been provided. We have a memo from the Planning and Development Consultant Nelson and Pope and Voorhees dated August 8th, 2023, stating that they have conducted a review in accordance with Chapter 246, Section 5.9, zoning for the Hicksville downtown, and Section 6, site plan review of the Code of the Town of Oyster Bay, and are referring the site plan to the Planning Advisory Board for appropriate action. And we also have the affidavit of sign posting and the affidavit of mailing.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Good evening,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Greg Alvarez from Amato Law Group, 666 Old Country Road, Garden City, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, Fieldstone at North Broadway, LLC. As mentioned, we're here this evening for site plan approval for a mixed-use development with residential and commercial components. The address is 82 North Broadway in Hicksville. Section 11, Block 268, lots 4 to 7, 14 to 17, 109, 312, and 317, and a portion of William Street that has been acquired as part of the development parcel. We'll talk about that in a moment. So the property itself is situated between New Bridge Road on the western side and North Broadway on the eastern side. It's approximately 125 feet north of West John Street, and William Street actually leads from the south towards the development and into the development parcel. It's nearby the Hicksville Long Island Railroad Station. We'll talk about why that's important in a moment, as well as access to local NICE buses. The property, when combined with all of those lots, comprises about 1.55 acres, and it is located in the Hicksville Downtown 1 core zoning district. Right now, it is occupied by an existing building, which is 76 North Broadway, and as we'll explain this evening, it will be part of the development moving forward. Many of the other remaining structures have since been demolished in contemplation of this development. Finally, the property also includes a portion, the northerly portion of William Street, which is now the formerly of William Street, and it's approximately 13,204 square feet. So taken together, that composes the parcel that is the subject of this application. So again, we're seeking site plan approval. We're also seeking a negative declaration pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. And just a note that no variance relief is required as part of this application, and we are consistent with the town's Hicksville Downtown Design Guidelines and Standards. This evening, with our presentation and our testimony and the already submitted documentation as part of this process, will show that we satisfy the requirements under the Site Plan General Standards under Town Code 246-6.10. Okay, the Hicksville downtown area. I know you've heard this a couple of times now, but that was the area of town where a multi-year study has been undertaken in connection with redevelopment around the Hicksville LIRR train station. In 2017, the state granted a $10 million Downtown Revitalization Initiative grant that facilitated this study, and it solicited and included input from all of the various residents and other participatory governmental agencies within the area to come up with a plan to help redevelop the area. So in 2021, the town adopted the Hicksville downtown zoning requirements, as well as, which is under 246-59, and they also adopted the Hicksville Downtown Design Guidelines and Development Standards. So in tandem, you have zoning requirements and design requirements to help facilitate and meet the vision that was part of this multi-year study. You've heard two prior projects in this area, the Alpine site, or the Alpine development, which it was a 189-unit development located at 99 New Bridge Road. It was heard and approved before this board on March 16th, 2023. Also, on April 11th, 2024, you heard and approved the 20-unit development located at 33-37 West Cherry Street. So we're the third, I guess, to appear before you. And our process has been concurrent with those applications. We've been considering this application for quite some time. In fact, back in February of 2020, we filed our first submission to the town indicating our intent to proceed with this application. So that was even before the zoning requirements were adopted. On April 26, 2021, we filed formally with the planning department for our site plan application. And that initiated the detailed collaboration between our development team as well as the town's Department of Planning and Development, the Department of Environmental Resources, and their outside consultant, Nelson Pope. As part of this process, we've also worked with the town attorney's office and the Department of Public Works Highway Division to address other aspects of this application. So that collaboration that I talked about, it was a back and forth. There were many iterations of this project to reach a stage where all of the comments and input from all of those agencies have been incorporated. Many follow-up submissions were the result, achieving the project that we're presenting you here this evening. So the build itself, like I mentioned, the 76 North Broadway building that still exists and still stands will be repurposed and be incorporated into the overall design of this new project. It will consist overall of two main components, as has been mentioned, 104 residential units, and the breakdown there will be 12 studios, 54 one-bedrooms, and 38 two-bedrooms. And the second component is a retail area space that will be fronting on North Broadway. That's part of the goals of the downtown redevelopment, to have ground level activity and ground level businesses. And the space there is approximately 3,944 square feet. The breakdown by floor of units is going to be 32 units on the second floor, 36 units on the third floor, and 36 units on the fourth floor. In terms of parking, it will occur on 2 levels, both on the ground level and then 1 underground level below that. The breakdown there, out of 155 spaces that are going to be provided, 100 spaces will be on the ground level, and that's broken down still further. 76 spaces will be behind the gate that will serve the residential development itself, and then 24 spaces will be available for guests to the to the building, as well as for the retail portion of the development. All vehicular access will be via William Street, so it'll direct it all in and out of that location. But it will also be accessible to pedestrians from all directions, and that's the point of this as well, to allow for that activity to occur both on New Bridge Road and on North Broadway, and even from the south from William Street, because the main entrance will be located in the southwest corner of the building. Now, this is generally a market rate development. However, it will be subject to providing affordable units. We heard earlier about Nassau County Planning Commission's recommendation for an affordability component. So we fully expect to provide that component as well as part of this application. And that's going to be part of the ongoing discussions, the ongoing application we currently have before the Nassau County Industrial Development Agency. There are amenities that are provided as part of this project, both indoor and outdoor, and in the building and outside the building. So inside the building, on the second floor, there will be indoor and outdoor common spaces on the second floor. And then outside, there will be a pocket park outside the main entrance on the southwest side. In addition, there will be landscaping, buffering, sidewalk and curbing improvements along both Newkirk and North Broadway to provide a vibrant, pedestrian-friendly path on both sides of the building. We'll hear more of that in a moment from Mr. Chaplin, our civil engineer. The architecture, as I mentioned, is completely in compliance with the Hicksville Downtown Design Guidelines and Standards, and we'll have Mr. Coco walk us through the particulars of the architecture in just a moment. I mentioned earlier about William Street, so the process there, and Mr. Byrne also mentioned it as well, in terms of our process, and that's when we worked with in conjunction with the town attorney's office as well, where we acquired that portion of William Street to incorporate it as part of this development parcel. So in January, the town board granted their resolution of approval for that transaction, and the transaction was closed on April 10th of this year. In addition to all of these efforts with the town, there have been other agency discussions and sign-offs and approvals. And so we've spoken in conjunction with this project with the Hicksville Fire District, the Hicksville Water District, the Nassau County Fire Marshal, the Nassau County Department of Public Works, particularly in connection with the sewer availability, Nassau County Planning Commission, which was mentioned, and as mentioned also, we are fully noting the affordability comment that was provided by the commission. So we're incorporating that as part of our continuing work with the IDA. And then finally, we've also worked with the New York State DOT. So we've tried to cover our bases here to make sure that everything is addressed. And on top of that, even more, we've also met with the community. We met with both the Northwest Civic Association, and that's, the president is Jeffrey Negrin, who I believe is in attendance tonight. And then last Thursday, we also met with the Hicksville Community Council. Mr. Negrin attended that as well, to provide further information for the community. In terms of SECRA, so yes, as mentioned, the recommendation for a negative declaration has been provided by the Department of Environmental Resources. That was dated August 22nd, 2023, as updated December 26th, 2023, in connection with the William Street acquisition. And just one thing to note there as well is that there was a covenant that was included in that recommendation to prohibit any sort of restaurant uses in the retail space, and that was in relation to their concerns about the parking, so we've agreed to that condition as well. Okay, so that's sort of the quick overview. I just want to introduce everybody else on our development team, and then we'll move on to their remarks. So we have, in attendance, we have both Paul Basilico and Dan Simone, who are representatives of the developer. If you want to just wave, yes. We have Salvatore Coco of BHC Architects, a New York State licensed architect, and he will be speaking about the architectural aspects of the application. We have Zachary Chaplin from Stonefield Engineering, New York State licensed professional engineer, who will talk briefly about the site layout of the project. And then finally, we have Amanda LaRosa of Stonefield Engineering, also licensed professional engineer, and our traffic engineer, who will speak about her findings regarding the anticipated traffic generation for the project. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Coco first, and then we'll proceed that way with our presentation. So thank you very much, and Mr. Coco.
Hey. Hi, good evening. I'll go over some of the specifics of the plan and then talk about the exteriors. But Greg already explained a lot of it very well. The southwest corner is our main lobby. I guess I'm pointing to the screen, but for the folks on the dais here, this is the main lobby. And on the northeast, there's a smaller northeast lobby, so we're really helping increase the pedestrian traffic in the neighborhood.
Just want to see if we're able to switch these, right? Yeah. So if you do want to use any of the other exhibits, I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Great. We have an interior drop-off area, vehicular drop-off, and this is William Street, which will be where all of the activity, vehicular activity will occur in arriving to the development. That Pocket Park is right here, and it actually does allow some east to west activity for pedestrians. The retail component here on Broadway, the 3,944 square feet, fronts Broadway. And then on the top left, we have some mechanical electrical spaces that are providing services and utility. But the idea was that that retail space is part of the requirement of the design guidelines. And on Newbridge Road, although we don't have retail, we have elements that look like storefront, and they're screening the parking. So that entire ground floor, other than those deeper yellow areas, is parking, and there's more parking below that to support the development. This handy thing goes to, okay, the second floor is where we start to see the residential units. And what we've done here is cap the apartments with what we call a podium, a landscape podium, so that it has its own amenity space. And the purple color there is amenity lounge, fitness, and it spills out into that amenity space. And the units that are within that space have views of the amenity area. And the floors above also will get to look at that amenity area. And beyond that, we're looking at Broadway and Newbridge. And part of the design guidelines was to really make this feel like it developed over time, that it's broken down into different buildings. It accentuates the verticality by not having any run of a building that's more than 35 feet or so. So every time we look at different materials, textures, different window styles to make it more of a composition, collage of design elements. We've tried to anchor the corner with a a strong brick feature where that main lobby is, as well as the other corner here where the secondary northeast lobby is. You see the existing building, which we've reclad and updated, and, you know, new windows, new exterior finishes, and, you know, apartments will now be within there instead of the office use that was previously intended. I think that wraps it up. What is that?
Good evening. So first, I just want to say it's been
And your
sorry.
name?
Zachary Chaplin with Stonefield Engineering and Design, civil engineer for the project. So first, I just want to say it's been a very collaborative effort to get to this point. We've worked very closely with the Planning Department, Department of Environmental Resources, New York State DOT, Fire Department, Hicksville Water District, Nassau County Sewer. You know, William Street kind of cuts through the middle of the property, and that, you know, was an active road or is an active road that we're essentially going to demap a portion of for this project. So there's a lot that went into it from a civil engineering standpoint when it comes to the utility design, and again, fire department maneuverability and things of that nature. So it's been, you know, a very good process to this point, working with everybody, you know, in a different aspect to make this project successful. I think big picture from a civil engineering standpoint, you know, there's not too much to talk about. I have to give a lot of credit to Sal, just, you know, being able to design a building that has such a uniquely shaped lot. You know, really it actually works out pretty well from a site layout standpoint. You know, we've got good access on William Street, the ability for retail customers and guests to enter a separate parking area, have room there to turn around and leave the site, and then still having that downtown feel on Broadway and New Bridge, where the building kind of lines up to the street. We also were able to incorporate a lot of the downtown standards. Specifically, there's these zones that are part of it, where we have like transition zone, the sidewalk zone, infrastructure zone. So we have pretty wide sidewalks, both on New Bridge and on Broadway, and that allows for things like street furniture and bike racks and plantings. So it really should improve the aesthetics along both the frontages compared to what's out there today. Lastly, I think it's just worth pointing out the pocket park again. I think it's a nice addition to the site plan at the southwest corner. That's, again, the main entry point into the residential building. It's also a good connection point. You know, if you're trying to walk from New Bridge to West John or Broadway, you could actually walk through that park to get to Broadway. So in general, just, you know, want to sum up by saying that I think it's a good site plan. I think it works really well, and happy to answer any questions.
I just want to add to what I talked about earlier, is also that the building will be designed to meet fair housing. There's an elevator in the building. In case that question comes up, I just want to be clear that it's completely handicap accessible.
Thank you, thank you.
Can you go back to the original plan on our little computers here? Thank you.
Sure.
We didn't get to see we'll put up those as well. Those are just the different elevation views, and you can actually see the pocket park we're talking about in the upper left-hand corner there. That's sort of the image of what we're trying to achieve. But I'll turn it over to Amanda now. Let me switch back to the site plan.
Good evening. My name is Amanda LaRosa. I'm also with Stonefield Engineering and Design. I'm the traffic engineer for the application. In connection with this application, my firm had prepared a traffic and parking assessment report, as well as a memorandum in response to the town's transportation information request addendum checklist. Our findings concluded that the proposed residential and retail uses are in line with the town's goals for the Downtown Revitalization Initiative, and the uses are expected to allow for convenient trips via both the Long Island Railroad and the NICE bus system nearby. The existing driveways along North Broadway will be closed, and vehicular access will now be consolidated to a single access point along William Street. That access consolidation will result in all vehicle trips being funneled through the signalized intersections of New Bridge Road and North Broadway, which we see as a safety improvement in the area. And again, the DOT has approved the access plan and the associated off-site improvements within the right-of-way for sidewalk and associated materials. And we do want to note that the driveway closure on North Broadway will also facilitate an additional 3 parking spaces on street that are close to those retail uses.
All right, thank you, Amanda. And we do have copies of the materials that she has referenced, but they have already been submitted into the record, so if there's any need for additional copies, we have those available. So with that is essentially our presentation. We're obviously open for questions at this point, and we look forward to being part of the Hicksville downtown area. So
Your affordability units, you're still working that out, the affordability units?
Yes.
You're still working that number out?
that's correct.
With the
I mean,
IDA?
we would anticipate it to be in that 10% range that
10%, okay.
that the Nassau County Planning Commission
Where
had
are we
referenced.
going to be?
That, I don't think that's been determined yet either, exactly where the affordables. Okay, you want to answer the question? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to ask Dan Simone to come forward. He'll introduce himself. He's obviously one of the developers, and so please come forward.
Yes, hi, Dan Simone, P7 Development. As Sal had alluded, the project is designed under the fair housing guidelines, so even from an affordability perspective, affordable units will be dispersed equally among the percentage of units that we have. So some of the studios will be, some of the one-bedrooms will be, and some of the two-bedrooms will be considered in the affordable capacity.
Okay. Good. And they remain constant? If somebody moves in or out, the numbers, those units remain
Yeah,
as is?
they'll remain as long as the IDA
Okay.
is in effect.
Okay.
So yes, if there are any other questions. Yes.
On William Street, the continuation there, you mentioned it's an acquisition. Was that a purchase from the town to get that property?
That's correct, that's correct. So they had to, town board had to issue their resolution. There was actually a permissive referendum. That's part of the process. And then ultimately, we were able to close on that. Mhm.
The bike store,
Mhm.
is there going to be electric in that for e-bikes and e-scooters?
Right, so the intention would be that room would be the designated area, if there are any e-bikes that, are within the building. It will be fully fire rated to make sure of that, because, to be able to accommodate those bikes.
You have been speaking of access to the site through William Street.
Yes.
Does the applicant own all of William Street from West John Street into the property?
No. So we actually just acquired, you can pretty much make it out on the site plan here,
Yeah,
but there's actually a line. It's about halfway up or so.
Yeah.
Right, so that it matches, so it creates a,
Still have access to
William
Street.
right, and the remainder will remain in town jurisdiction.
Just a question.
Sure.
What's the total square footage for the apartments? I see the retail, 3944. Is there a total for each second, third, and fourth floor?
I'm just looking to my engineers, I think they have the calculation. Just double checking that.
Okay.
Let's see. Don't know if we have that on our site plan itself. I'm just double checking here. See, I have the building coverage number, but I don't have the total. Would that just be, I guess you would multiply that by 3, is that right? Sorry, just a moment.
It's okay.
Just the ballpark if,
Yeah, for the 104 residents.
about 125,000?
Minus the garage, yeah. 125,000 is not including the.
All right, so it's about 125,000 minus the garage, which, I guess is one of those floors. So, but yeah, you just take out a quarter of that or so, maybe just a shade under 100.
How are you going to deal with the trash? Is there a compactor or dumpster?
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, so we have, in terms of the residents, on each floor, there will be a garbage room, and that is the area where it will congregate on each floor. And then each, I don't know if it's each day, but it will be then relocated down to the actual, not compactor, but the dumpster
Dumpster.
location, yes.
Are you going to have private sanitation come in and pick up?
Yes.
What size trucks are, they're not gonna use the big overhead lift or anything like that, or? Because the traffic pattern plan for the garbage pickup only shows a four-wheel truck.
Correct.
So that would not be one of the large,
No, it wouldn't be like a tractor trailer, it would just be like an SU-30, a box truck.
okay, but, because the one thing I'm worried about is when they're making their maneuver after they pick up to turn around to get back out, hitting the building or,
There's like an oversized drive aisle in
Okay.
that main parking area that's a little north of the trash enclosure. So that's the area that they can turn around.
Yeah, I saw the plan, yeah. Now, just with regard to William Street, since that is not your property, it's still, I assume it's still owned by the town.
The portion that we haven't acquired, correct.
Is there, and from what I saw on your site plans, West John Street there is one way, I think, going from east to west?
Correct, with the median in the middle, that's right.
Okay. Are you going to have adequate signage that says no left turn at William Street? Are you going to install that, or is the town going to install that? Have you looked into that?
Yeah, go ahead.
There hasn't been a request to put specific signage because there is a raised median directly in front of William Street, so
Right.
all traffic automatically is one way in,
Well,
one way
but-
out.
But my comment is that, normally when you have something like that with a raised median, on the median, there's an arrow, a large yellow arrow pointing in the direction.
Of
so
traffic,
that,
yeah.
You could work this out with the town.
Yeah, we
because
can-
West John is probably the town street. I don't know, maybe owned, because it might be parking area owned by the Long Island Railroad, I don't know.
Yeah, there are parking spaces directly across from,
Correct.
from the
And they're
the
diagonal
entrance.
parking spaces, which makes
Correct.
everybody go that way.
Yeah. But we will consult with the town. I mean, if a traffic sign is required, we will install it.
Thank you.
Do any of the units have balconies?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, please,
We have a series of units that front on the interior courtyard, which will also have balconies that overlook the interior courtyard. The ones on the street frontage, none of those do. We do have some that have some decorative balconies that are flush to the building, but nothing protruding in order to create that streetscape.
I saw on one of the elevations, I don't remember whether it was Broadway or it was Newbridge, that there were doors in one strip of the building. I thought there were doors.
They're false, yeah. Those are the false balconies that front out onto
Okay.
Newbridge.
Okay.
Correct.
Can you address the lighting on the building and how that,
Sure, yeah,
impact
we'll
on-
have Zach address that if you step forward.
Just going to pull up the lighting plans, I can be more specific, but in general, it's pretty modest. So it's architectural lights that are 8 foot high on the building and, along Broadway. So, the foot candle levels are pretty low, pretty modest lighting along Broadway. And then I don't believe anything is proposed along Newbridge. It's just along Broadway where you expect to have most of the pedestrian activity.
There are current streetlights on the Newbridge side.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's kind of nitpicking, but when I look through the engineering drawings, the detail that you have for the striping parking lot, parking stall striping, doesn't meet the town requirements. We require, I call it California, I don't know if anybody, it's a double line.
The hairpin,
Okay?
the hairpin striping.
Huh?
It's the hairpin striping you're referring to? The
It's double
yeah.
striping and with, you know, the circle at the top or the arc at the top or whatever. You only have single striping, so if you could just, in your future drawings, make
Yeah.
that modification. Any additional submissions that you make to the town, I'd like to see that on there, just so we're all on the same page.
Okay, will do.
Can, there, the ramp that goes down to the below-grade parking, how many spots are down there?
55.
55? Are any of those dedicated just for the apartment use?
They're all
They're all
dedicated. for the
dedicated
Yeah,
apartment?
down below, because there'll be a gated entry. And as I mentioned, there'll be 24 spaces outside of that that will serve guests and people who will be using the retail area
And
as
the
well.
elevator goes all the way down to the sub-basement?
Yes, it does.
Thanks.
Is
I
there-
assume that the parking in the basement has adequate ingress and egress
Yes.
in case of an emergency or...
There are stairwells on either side of the basement spots, so we have two forms of egress.
Is this a sprinkler building?
Yes, fully sprinkled.
That was my other question, but with the sprinkling reminded me, the irrigation, you have a irrigation plan, correct?
We actually, most of the landscaping is minimal on the streetscape, so those will be self-watered by maintenance staff.
Okay.
There's not enough really for a full-blown sprinkler system.
Okay.
So we have limited room, especially on the Broadway side, so we had incorporated planter boxes.
Okay. So you had some nice flowers selected, which was nice
Yeah.
for that area.
Yeah, we worked with the environmental resources on that.
Is there any thought of any electrical generators or anything like that in the event of a... Okay.
Is there an area for deliveries for the residents? Like Amazon deliveries and packages and things like that?
In terms of vehicles or like a package room?
Well, I order something on Amazon, and the Amazon truck comes to deliver. Is there a spot to drop off? Do they bring it right to the lobby?
Yeah, it's part of the turnaround that it's designed to allow for that.
In the drop-off zone?
That's right.
And then what about loading for the retail?
Loading for the retail, I think, will be served if necessary. I mean, it's going to depend necessarily on the nature of the business, you know, in terms of whether or not there will require, you know, loading or unloading. But it can be serviced from that same area, in the, up William Street there.
There's currently a walkway that connects North Broadway and the open parking, so any larger delivery trucks could stop within the interior parking and offload to the retail.
Is there parking along, that's Broadway over there, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there parking on the curb, along the curb on Broadway?
Yes.
Yes, there is. Currently, two of the original buildings had curb cuts on North Broadway. Those are being done away with. As Amanda had mentioned, that gives us an extra 3 spots along North Broadway. So I'm sure some smaller delivery trucks will just stop in the parking spots on North Broadway.
Are you planning any type of security
Just cameras.
cameras?
The property will be most likely manned during normal business hours, Monday through Friday. The leasing office will be, leasing manager will be there, maintenance will be there. After hours, it's fob controlled, so access to the building will be resident only. Generally, the main lobbies will be covered with guest entry via buzzing a unit, and the unit owner can come down and let them in. But there will be full-time surveillance on all portions of the project, some interior, some exterior, parking garage, and some of the public spaces.
Okay. Thank you.
that amenity area that you discussed on the second floor?
Yes.
That's for the whole building, right? Anybody can use that, not just the people that are immediately adjacent to that?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Correct.
But all residents,
Or any resident?
any resident, yep, on any floor. Correct.
Do you have tenants yet, or you're seeking, or you're still in the process, or it's tough?
We're not there yet.
Not yet.
Tomorrow we'll start.
Okay. Scott, anything?
Did you say in your opening statement that that you couldn't have restaurant because of the sewers? Did I?
No, no, not because of the sewers. They were more concerned about parking, to make sure that we met the parking requirements.
So who said you couldn't have restaurants?
That was through the DER.
DER.
Yep.
So when you say restaurants, we're not talking about like cafes and things, are we?
Any sort of wet use, I think, was sort of the thought. I mean, if we can meet the parking standard, I guess perhaps we could. We don't want to foreclose if we don't have to, certainly. But the idea was to address that comment.
Yeah, usually you can if there's a small amount of seats.
Anyone else? No? Lou, good? Scott, good?
Okay.
Good? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak on the application? Yeah, come on up.
Good evening. My name is Tasadduk Bhatt. I am the residence for the 24 Western Street, and that's the only house is left over there. I'm just concerning about for the William Street, how we going to have the access, because we never seen any plan over there by the building. Okay, whatever they have there all the time designated, okay, what is building over here and which kind of stuff is going to be coming.
Do you want to answer that?
Sure. So are you asking about the in and out to the building, or, I'm sorry, I just want to understand the access?
For the access for my house, how we going to use for that?
Oh, yeah,
Because before that, the street, they have a parking over there. Are we allowed still, we have the parking in front of our home, and they're going to use for that parking?
Yeah, nothing will change in terms of the street parking. The street parking will still be available. Where's your home? If you could just indicate where you are.
There's a,
Yep, yeah, that portion of the roadway is not, is not going to change. We're not touching that. Yeah.
I just heard for the maybe, for the e-bikes things over there, for they're going to particularly for the, make the designated area for the e-bikes, that's a requirement for the town?
I don't think so, but it's just to accommodate any residents that may be interested in that. I mean, we're not going to necessarily encourage it, but we want to accommodate it if residents-
If they have one,
Correct.
if, someplace to put it.
That's all.
Where is going to be for that, designated for that things?
Right, so that's in the upper portion, so it's at the extreme north side. You can kind of.
You want to point to it for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
In this location up here.
Does this have a pointer? This actually has a pointer.
You're down here? Yes. Yeah, it's all the way on the other side. Up towards the Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, that was a concern of the Hicksville Fire Department when I, met with them last year, that any e-bike storage occur in a fire-rated room, because it has been a big concern in a lot of communities, so.
Okay.
So the main entrance for the building, for the whatever the residence is there, all the car is going to go through the William Street, and it's coming from the Broadway, North Broadway.
No, it'll be, the cars will be coming in and out from William.
William.
Yes.
So they have the access on this side for the whole parking to going in and out for.
That's correct, yeah, that's where the parking will be accessed, at the end of William Street.
So the William Street goes to the West Zone Street. So all the parking, cars or traffic is going to go in front of the house to go to the West Zone Street? That I'm asking. Or they have any other way to go in and out?
No, they'll be in and out on William Street. That's where they'll be going in and out.
Only William Street?
That's correct.
That is our concern, because all these people, they were gonna be for like 104 apartments, and the whole day long, day and night, we have to go through for these things.
Yeah, so as part of our submission, we did provide a traffic study to indicate, what's to be expected. And because it's located near the train station, the intention is that many of the residents will be using both the LIRR and the bus system to get around, so that will reduce trips. And that's the purpose of locating near the train station.
I understand, but why not they have to have the access on the New Bridge Road
So,
to go over there?
yeah, so part of it is, I'm sorry, just give me just a moment, yeah.
The code requires access through William Street. You're not allowed to have access on New Bridge or
You want to repeat it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, get there. So we're actually limited. We cannot access either New Bridge or North Broadway as part of our access point. It's designed to be safer in that regard so that there aren't as many access points. This narrows it down to just the one location. And so from that perspective, that's part of the design as well. And it was a code requirement that we needed to meet.
How close are you from the train station?
I don't know if we have the exact measurement. I know it's
Not
under
far,
2
near?
blocks, yeah.
2 blocks?
2
Yeah.
blocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because,
So-
I mean,
so
a lot of people will maybe or use the train.
Well, that's the intention.
I would imagine.
Yeah,
since it's-
exactly. That's the attractiveness of
Yeah.
these types of developments.
That is our concern, basically for the traffic,
Yeah.
I'm living over there last 35 years.
Well, they seem to have done their homework and have
Yeah, and-
outlined the plans.
Right, as indicated, there was, when these properties were operational, in terms of access point, most of the properties, had quite a bit of parking there as well, so there was quite a,
No,
quite
but
a-
it is all the benefit for the developer, not for the residential, okay? Whoever that lives over there before that. Anybody can come and they can disturb your life. Do anybody like in front of their home, if they have this kind of access, all these members and chairmen, would you like that?
Understand?
I'm not making it difficult for anybody, over here.
No, we recognize the concern, for sure. And, every effort is designed here to minimize any, this issue that you have raised. And again, the point of these sorts of developments is to minimize people getting inside their car for every little trip. That's why we're trying to create an environment as part of our development to allow people to stay in the area for certain amenities. And when they do have to either commute, or want to go to the city, they will have that access through public transportation. So that's really the intention here.
The public transportation is there. I'm not making anything for issue for that one. We know that there is a train station over there, close to that, bus stop over there by the train station. My main concern is only for that, 24/7, we're living over there, and day and night, they're gonna be like all the time, 24/7, they're gonna be having traffic over there.
Well, our studies don't suggest that either, because most of the people who will be locating here are also going to be residents, so, this is going to be their home as well.
No, there is no any other residence beside us.
Well, right, but when the
Okay.
residents are there, yeah, then like I said, the suggestion that it's going to be all day and night, that's not the intention here. It's supposed to be a residential community, so it'll be.
Because they have their own access on the New Bridge Road, they can go from there. It's the same thing, rather they go for the Western Street, they can make their access over there. They have enough area.
Yeah, but like we said, we're not permitted to do that as part of our development.
then it's going to be a problem.
Well,
We're going to oppose
I
that.
understand. Well, I think they've outlined it as well as they can outline it, and the plans speak for themselves, so whether or not it's going to be all day long, I don't know. What is your experience with these? Have you done other buildings like this, or your team?
Yeah.
What's the, how active is it once they get in? And
Yeah, why don't I have our traffic engineer talk
Yeah.
about it, because she's the one who analyzed it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, Susan, go ahead.
In general, residential traffic, we see peaks during the morning and evening commuting periods, on weekdays when people are going to and from work, and then on weekends, we see peaks midday when people are out and about. But generally, overnight, traffic volumes are extremely low, so it's really not a concern that we're considering with a residential development. The retail will be closed overnight, so we're forecasting extremely low volumes overnight.
How many parking spaces do you have?
There's 155 total. That includes the 24 outdoor spaces and then the remainder inside of the building.
What do you figure goes out of the 155?
So during peak hours, we're forecasting between 30 and 50 trips. That's people coming in and out for work. We're expecting that a good number of people are going to be commuting via the train and via buses, which was incorporated into our study. And then outside of that, we're expecting lower volumes outside of those peak commuting hours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I think I lost the talk over there.
Oh,
That's their protest. They want that way, you know. But we want ourselves for the peace over there. We are the residents. We have more rights than the other people. They are not the residents over there. They're going to in and out for all the time. Plus, somebody's coming for 1 year, maybe 6 months, and we're going to stay there. I am just asking you the honest opinion from you. Anything next to your house, all these people, the gentlemen, they're sitting over here, you going to like it? Then it's okay. If you don't like it, then you have to stand by our side, not for their side.
unfortunately, a lot of study went into this and a lot of community input. Am I right? You had a lot of community input from other residents in the area? Not
We
just
never heard
businesses.
any meeting going on before that. If we heard that, then maybe we can go over there to speak out and talk to someone.
So
This is the first time we get the letter.
how did everybody else find out? And he missed any, I mean, how were people invited?
I am there
No,
for...
I'm asking, wait a
Yeah.
minute. I'm
Yeah,
asking,
sure. So, I mean, there are a lot of aspects to this process, right? So it goes back to 2017. There were countless meetings in terms of the vision for the overall area of the Hicksville downtown. And so we invited, not us, but the town invited all the residents and any stakeholders that were involved in part of the process to participate. So over the course of those 4 years, there were many meetings and discussions to arrive at this overall vision for the downtown. And then in terms of our project, like I said, we met with the two civic organizations that blast out to the community to make sure that they're aware of the project that's coming, to make sure that any input, it would be part of that process as well. For here, I imagine you received a letter as well in terms of notice, and that's probably how you heard about this particular meeting. But again, it's been a series of meetings over the course of, now we're at 7 years to talk about, to reach this sort of, to allow this sort of development to proceed. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time going on. I'm sorry we weren't able to, become aware of sort of the surroundings as all of this going on. So, but that's part of the reason, this meeting is held as well, so you have the ability to discuss the application as well.
I just want to ask him to come for on my behalf
Sure.
to photo.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Paul Graziano. I'm an urban planner and zoning and land use consultant, and I've been retained by Mr. Butt. So I have a couple of questions because I'm familiar with what you're doing. First of all, in terms of the, and this goes back, I think, to, Mr. Butt's concerns is the access and the in and out, obviously. So again, by ordinance, there's no access to Newbridge or to North Broadway.
That's correct.
Correct, okay. So I just want to make sure, I heard that several times, so I just wanted to make sure that's clear. Okay, so my first question to the team is, what is the expected timeline for build-out that's going to affect my client?
All right, you're going to take that?
Sure. So from start to finish, we are estimating about 22 months would be the build-out.
Okay. What sort of mitigation measures will you take in terms of the protection of my client's property?
Right. So first, we're subject to all town code requirements in terms of when construction can occur each day.
Sure.
We're also going to have measures in terms of, access for vendors. We're also going to have measures in terms of storage and means to ensure that there would be no impacts on the surrounding community. Obviously, we're not allowed to impinge on any of the neighbors or anything like that during the construction. And so, obviously, we will take all caution and all measures that will be necessary to ensure that happens.
Okay. That includes dust and
That's correct.
whatever else is going on,
That's
vibration. Will there be an on-site during engineering measuring vibration to make sure there's no issues with my client's property? I mean, again, I don't know, how many floors, one floor foundation?
I'd have to
Piles?
see,
What are you guys doing?
The design folks to confirm that.
The building is designed as typical spread footings, shallow foundations, shallow spread footings. There's no pile driving associated with it. So there's really no major concern for large vibrations.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we're talking 15 feet?
We're talking maybe a 12-foot
Okay.
excavation.
Perfect. Okay.
And everything above the concrete podium is all wood-framed construction.
Okay.
And there's, per Town of Oyster Bay building ordinance, there's no construction on weekends or holidays.
Right.
So we are.
And it's what's the date? It's 8 to 6 or 7 to
not-
7, or what is it?
I think it starts at 7:30 in the morning and goes until 6 PM, I
Okay.
believe. Yes.
I figured it was around there, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whichever it happens to be, we will
Right, you'll
obviously
follow.
abide by
We
it.
have
Got
it
it.
here, too.
So I guess the last question I have, and I guess this goes back to the access issue. Again, my client has a very interesting position in all of this being in his location, right? So he's sort of on an island once this is done. He's going to be, you're going to be the sort of to the north and east. William Street, let's be honest, is really going to become almost like a driveway for your,
William Street
Project.
has forever been a dead end.
correct, but it was a dead end with
Right.
parking lots and a few houses and whatever, and now you're
Yeah.
talking about a pretty dense project
Yeah, I
here.
mean, we had, the main building is roughly, I believe, 35,000 square feet of what was office space.
Right,
So
right.
there was potential for a large office component there, which would have generated a lot more traffic than the residential.
Different kind of traffic, but yes. Yeah.
Different hours.
Different hours, right.
Different hours,
Right.
but yes, typically the commercial traffic generator is a lot greater than the residential. So the fact that we are in the downtown district, one of the impacts there was to integrate the residential in there, and that kind of shaves the peak from the commercial. Commercial traffic is mostly all during the day.
Right.
Residential is mostly in the morning and in the evenings, very little overnight.
What's the code for closure of business?
Whatever town code dictates, but
Yeah,
again,
there's no specific requirement, but again, we're not planning any sort of late night type.
yeah, we're
And-
projecting mostly kind of office and retail uses, which would be 9 to 5 or 9 to 6.
You're going to continue the ownership? There's no
Yes.
long-term leases? Okay. And one question for the team. What's the ultimate FAR build-out in terms of the unit count?
I have to ask.
Oh, the unit count?
Well, the unit count's 104, I got
Correct.
that. But the
The FAR?
Yeah. 2.68, okay, okay, okay. And beyond the little pocket park, which of course is going to be immediately adjacent to my client's property, right, which in an optimistic fashion could be great, in a pessimistic fashion could be an issue that could be an attractor of nuisances at some point. Are you going to be having staff on site that is going to be watching this site rather than having an open situation that, could become a problem over time?
Well, during the day, our leasing office is located right on
At that location,
at that
okay,
location,
got it,
so-
the yellow spot.
Correct.
Got
yeah,
it,
So we
okay.
will have full-time observation during the day, and that area will be monitored via camera
Okay,
in the evenings and
Okay.
weekends.
okay. All right,
And again,
Thank
it's not a thoroughfare, it's just
understood.
limited.
As I said, I think that the biggest concern, obviously for my client, obviously is going through 2 years of construction is going to be difficult. We understand that. But also, I think the Williams Street situation is it's going to be a change, and it's something that is going to have an impact on his property. So,
Yeah.
just that's, okay, thank you
No,
very much.
thank you for your questions and comments.
I think there was a gentleman in the back.
Oh, no, oh.
Yep.
Good evening, board members, Chairman Jeffrey Negron, Northwest Civic Association of Hicksville. I'm the president. I stand here before you and in front of the public in favor of this project. I think it'll be a welcome addition to our community and replace what's currently there. And I would like to speak a little bit to what was there. Our organization does a Secret Santa program every year, and there's one particular occasion.
Secret Santa?
Secret Santa.
You play him? Is it Secret Santa, you said?
Yes, Christmas.
And you play him?
I'm sorry?
No, you play him, right?
No.
No, okay.
I do, as a matter of fact.
I'm
Well, I was
kidding,
gonna- I was
I'm
about to get into
kidding
that.
you, go ahead.
No, you'll see it when I get into it.
Okay.
I did go, and this particular occasion, I had to do a drop-off in one of the buildings in question. And I could not believe the conditions of those buildings when I went in there with my elves. It was very dark, it was very dank, the floor was sticky, the mailboxes looked like they were punched in or attempted to get pried into. It was just a very, very sad, I did not want to go upstairs. I called the family in question to please come down and meet us. I just
So
did
you
not-
deliver, you deliver the toys or whatever you deliver,
Yes, sir,
right to the place?
yes.
That's great, yeah.
So, fact of the matter is, I could not believe that we had buildings in that condition in my hometown in Hicksville. It was unbelievable to me. So, being that that's just about all gone and it's going to be replaced by something aesthetically much better and something that's going to serve the community, it's going to be a welcome addition. And I speak on behalf of our organization. We're happy that it's happening.
Okay. Can I just ask you, is there, in other words, you have the organization, you send out to whoever you send out, there's a meeting coming up. How does somebody miss it, or how does somebody get on that list, should something happen again? And, I'm just asking in general, because this gentleman got missed, so would have been nice if he attended one of those. I'm not putting you on the spot, but.
No, I'm glad it's being brought up because it's actually mind-boggling to me. Our organization's been in existence for 75 years. We've been serving the community, trying to maintain the quality of life in Northwest Hicksville. So the fact that residents still are not aware of us is just mind-boggling to us because our outreach is through social media. Our membership is, beating the pavement on their individual streets. And we have the neighboring organizations that also put the word out for everything. So it's,
So if he wants to get on your list, he can talk to you after the meeting and.
before I leave, I will give him my card and he will be able to get on.
Okay.
It's $20
Might help.
a year. And they get a newsletter, they'll get monthly emails and,
Okay.
two parties a year. But, our outreach is pretty extensive considering our area is relatively small, we cover about 1,400 houses. So I really don't.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just asking that, you know, okay. Thank you for your
Thank you.
comments. Any closing?
Yeah, just to close, I just want to say that, you know, the bottom line for us is that we want to be part of this community. We want to be part of this neighborhood. And so, you know, certainly we would like to engage with all of the community to make sure that, you know, we're being the best neighbor that we can. So that certainly is part of what we'll be striving for, to make sure that any concerns can be ameliorated. And, you know, we just really look forward to that opportunity. And, you know, we have gone through this very substantial process to make sure that that does happen. And, you know, that doesn't end tonight. That will
Right.
continue. So that's really what we're striving for. And, you know, we really look forward to that opportunity if, you know, you do grant the application that we're
Okay.
requesting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? If not, no one else wishes to speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we accept the site plan site plans as submitted, with the exception that they just change the parking detail in any future submissions.
Okay.
I'll
Second?
second it.
Second, okay.
Okay, on the motion by Member Warner, seconded by Member Chabina. Chairman Stanko.
Aye.
Member Di Leonardo.
Aye.
Member Chabina.
Aye.
Member Warner.
Aye.
Member Castellane.
Aye.
Member Burners, aye. Chairman, the motion carries with 6 ayes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
So,
Make a motion to adjourn. I'll second it.
That's amazing that they deliver. That's a good, oh, is this mine? That's, but how does a guy get to this? With so many things? They did the right thing.